Well, my name is Alice. Originally, I am from France, but I have been in the United States for 15 years now, so it feels like a super long time. I'm a mom of 3 boys. They're aged 17, 13, and 7, so I've got quite the range of ages there. I'm a writing and rhetoric major at the U with an emphasis on law. I am a group exercise instructor and an online fitness coach, so I work outside of the home as well as at home. But I always wanted to finish my bachelor because I love being in school. I know for some people that sounds a little funny, but there's something about being able to be in a classroom and just having all that information and all of that knowledge come at you. I chose the U because it's my state university. I had started here and I actually really liked it. I think that it offers a really wide variety of subjects. It's definitely very geared towards academic topics, and I had a good experience to begin with. So when I decided to go back to school, I thought I'm going to finish my bachelor at the University of Utah. I do have a few hobbies, and they're different. I have a bunch of different hobbies, but I ride horses, which is fun, and I take photos. I also spend a lot of time doing yoga and teaching yoga. So, I guess I do spend a lot of my spare time in my profession because I still remain kind of in the field of fitness. But in terms of hobbies, it's riding horses and taking photos. You get to pick the time of the day where you get the right kind of light that's not too harsh. So usually I have a friend of mine who's a photographer taking the photos. And we have a really gorgeous campus. So it's almost kind of hard with the right pose to take a crappy photo when you're on campus. So we identify a couple of locations that we like, and then we try different poses, see what jives with the background. And yeah, they're on Instagram if you want to see them. I usually tag them U of U, just look for that hashtag. It's happy inside out with an underscore between inside and out. So when I do take photos, I like to find interesting architectural elements. And when when I go around town, I always try to find locations that I can shoot in. And this is definitely one that has a lot of, there's a lot of metal, there's a lot of cement, there's also a lot of greens. So you can kind of combine all of those elements. We have a really nice campus, so that it's all those elements kind of combined together that make it such a good place to take photos. One of the things that I like about the university is that I feel in the classes we go broader. It's not so technical in some ways, so I think it allows you to expand your horizon and expand your ways of thinking. So for me, what that's enabled me is to take those very those classes that maybe are like harder, or especially the law classes which feel stricter, but at the same time it's allowed me to expand the way that I view the world as a whole. So it's definitely helped reconcile those two sides of my personality, the more legal-minded side with my artsy side, because it's all about how you learn to read the world in a way. For me, finding balance has meant that sometimes I kind of have to not be as available for my kids because we're going through midterms, or I have an enormous paper that I have to write, and then sometimes I put that on the back burner and I spend more time with them. So it's being able to constantly gauge where you have to put your priority, and that adjusts. There's times where for a week I have to really focus on my business and get to my business goals and achieve that, and put school a little bit to the side. And then there's some times where school has to be in the forefront because there's a bunch of due dates. So, and that's sometimes the difficulty, is being able to constantly gauge and realize that in the moment it always feels like something is kind of off balance, but when you look at the whole, hopefully the picture is something more even and balanced. Je m'appelle Alice et je suis une youth.